Um, God, I'm trying to think. Salvo's probably going to be is probably going to be bugging Sakura, because he's probably going to be like, so, you saw the paperwork, huh? You saw what the council was thinking about voting. So which way is the vote going? What's the word? Man, and here I was hoping for a bit of a sneak preview on what. Here I was hoping for a bit of a sneak preview on what to expect. Well, pro secession, man. I mean, we don't need UCAS. We're Seattle. It's about identity, pride. Uh, we don't need to be a part of it. I mean, what does the UCAS do for us here? It's being independent. Don't you understand? Freedom, man. Doing. Uh, eh, ah, you're hopeless. You're. I don't even know what to say to you. And he's like, what about the rest of you? You just on the apathy train as well? What about you, new kid? Uh, I don't think I ever had possession of it since my job was distraction. Yeah, because my job was distraction, so I was never near the information. Unless he showed it to me on the way to give it to Romeo. All right. I think, the, I think at this point, you probably look over at uh, Sir and be like, what about you, kid? What do you think? See, he knows what I'm talking about. Knowing what's going to happen ahead of time could have given us the edge on, well, knowing what jobs are even going to open up, let alone. See, there was a fiduciary reason. There was a reason to do it too, not just political leanings. It was a real bottom line reason. It just shakes it. Salvo just shakes his head. He's like, "I'm gonna get a beer, man. Go to the fridge and grab a beer." Um, yeah, like I think Salvo would probably be like, "We got another job lined up." I mean, uh, actually, you know what? I believe I know somebody who could get us a job. Well, we've got Romeo as well. I mean, we could try hitting him up again. Like, do we want to see if Romeo's got any more work? I mean, paid well last time. I mean, I could look. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anybody know any? I Yeah, this is. I think. Yeah, I think honestly, I think Salvo's just fucking self-absorbed enough, he would definitely want to know what his press looked like. He'd just be like, he'd be, he'd be like, it's, at the mention of anybody saying news, he would probably like jump over the back of the couch, grab the remote, and like turn on, like, hey, yeah, let's see what they're saying about us. I gotta see what my press is. And he just kind of like fucking turns the TV on, starts flipping through. Oh, I do not know why. Okay, give me a second to see if I cannot fix that. Mm. Sorry, everybody out there. I'm apparently a big dumb. Stream remote is enabled. Is that? Well, the problem was being able to hear anybody else, apparently. Uh, Output device. What was that look like? Check, 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 check. Okay, so this here's a. Let me check this here. Open sound setting. That might have something to do with it. Okay. That should be okay. There. Something on the never ending screen of never endingness I'm missing here. Settings. Where do I find that out? Audio. Desktop. Default MCR. There's a whole lot of stuff. That is. Stream key, stream key. Account is should be connected. Hmm. Where do I find that at? I just have not even know. Display option. Alright. So desktop audio. See. It, I'm telling you. Properties? Okay. Alright. Oh, there it is.
Or yeah,
Alright.
whatever you're using.
Alright. Check,
There
check
we
on.
go.
Are we.
Can you hear the rest of us now?
I can hear you, but I don't. I'm not. Somebody. It was the problem with being able to hear you on stream.
Well, let's see.
Slightly, people on Twitch, can you hear us?
Yep.
Yeah, we're good now. Okay, awesome. I don't know why that changed on me, and I don't know. It was nothing. It's nothing. I went in and physically changed, and it worked the other night. I don't know.
Welcome to
Weird.
computers.
I don't know. Apparently, this is what happens when you have the amateur running the stream, damn it. All right. So where do we need to pick up from here? Like, what? How do we want to bring this back together? Because I mean, I guess to summarize, we had a conversation about politics in which Grandma don't care.
Mm-mm.
um,
Victor doesn't seem to care, yeah.
and Sakura did not bother to peek on what was in the which way they were voting.
And I said no power.
Yep, and the new kid is like, yeah, knowledge is power. So agreed with me at least on principle. So
Okay, so did we have anything on Bishop or Slackheap? I don't remember hearing anything. I'm
Uh,
not saying you didn't say
Bishop,
anything.
Bishop had just come back in from the previous session. He had just absconded to the other room to place a call, and apparently haven't finished the call and 2 or 3 beers during that call. He comes back in and joins the rest of the group.
yeah, and Salvo has just jumped over the back of the couch and turned on the TV to see what they're saying about us because we were pretty fucking loud. We did not do that quiet at all.
So I can't remember exactly how you guys got out of the building. Did you just like barrel through the front doors?
I
no,
remember
Slackheap barreled in. I think the rest of you jumped out a window.
we blew open a window.
I jumped out a third-story window and just left. Well, Slaggy did.
Yeah.
Walked
Bishop was probably hanging out at the shore going, "That's my boy."
Yep, and Salvo basically created a lot of chaos and then snuck away. It's like- Actually, he snuck away for the first part of it, but then he did the whole, not looking behind while there's fire and explosions.
Thriving in chaos. Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so once you get the TV going, the live news stream is actually going to go chaos on Council Island. News at 6.
I'm like, what? That's it? No video feed. No. I'm a little
Look,
disappointed.
Yeah.
it's always like this. We're gonna die, all of us. Nose at 10.
Yep.
And you're sitting there wondering, but everyone's gonna die. What? And then you find out it was advertising for a new dice company.
Everyone needs dice. At least 3 sets. Okay, 4. We'll stop at a dozen.
I was gonna say, you mean 4D?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
I don't even know how many dice I have at this point.
I got a whole box full of them. So
let's just agree that if you've been gaming for more than a couple of years, you probably have a lot of dice.
Fucking nerds.
You too, dear, I
Eh,
promise.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not a nerd. I'm just saying.
You're telling a bunch of people who are playing role playing games live on stream that they're nerds. It seems a little odd. It's just like, okay.
Now, if you do a quick scan on the what is the equivalent of the internet, you'll actually see that they're actually seem more focused on the riot than they do on the embassy.
Well, that's a good thing.
Things blowing up would made a lot of news.
See, it's a win for everybody. We got the information out. They either covered up the what we were doing because they don't want anybody to know, or they haven't figured out who it is yet. And I created a lot of fire that made the news.
Exactly.
Plus, like he killed any witnesses, so.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, this is always, if it's not conducive to their narrative, they won't focus on it.
You know, I think I think I made a pretty good narrative. Look at that! Look at that! That was my fireball. You see that cop car flip over? That was me. That was my grenade. I was slick. I would see. That was me walking by the frame right there. Yeah. You can't tell it's
Cop car
me.
flips, maybe a body.
You can't tell it's me. See, he's got a mask on. He's in the shadows. It's probably me. That's all.
How
I'm saying.
brave.
uh, yeah,
Were you wearing a mask?
I was.
Okay.
Remember, because the first time I threw a fireball, I
Yeah,
decided to put a
otherwise-
mask on before I did
Knock,
the.
knock.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I was like, how can I be the sneakiest way possible about throwing fireballs around? I'm in a crowd. I put a mask on. I throw a fireball.
Don't
Uh,
worry, I can find a picture of you somewhere.
Okay, well, as you guys regale over the previous mission, you are able to go through your evening. The next day, you actually get a comm call from Romeo. He indicates he's got a line on a job that needs to be done tonight. He's sending you details via a courier and a data chip. And actually, a few minutes later, you hear a knock on the door. Who
wow.
answers?
Yeah, that's a rush job. I actually I think just because it's within Salvo's personality, he's probably sitting on the couch drinking a beer. He's like, "Hey kid, get that, would you,
Which one's kid?
sir?"
Well, it's obviously not me. Otherwise, he's a horrible flirt.
Definitely.
Well, he kind of is. Yeah, exactly. He's kind of been referring to Sir as the new kid.
Mm-hmm.
I go grab the door.
Okay, are you answering armed or anything, or are you just going to answer normally?
I'm just gonna pull the door open.
Is anyone going to answer armed, or anyone going to have a weapon on them?
I think
He's always got a weapon.
Fair enough.
Salvo
I only got
is not to say that Salvo is a weapon, but he probably has his machine pistol on him.
Fair enough. Anyone that's going to ready a weapon goes ahead and readies it. They're... And was it Sir that was answering the door?
Yeah.
You managed to open the door fairly carefully. What you actually see on the other side of the door is a bored-looking, pimply-faced teenager dwarf girl with a pink mohawk.
Hmm.
Seems to be chewing bubblegum, looks bored out of their mind.
Open fire!
Just,
Hi.
I was gonna say
Nice
part
hair.
of.
If you respond with that nice hair, she'll yeah, whatever. She hands you a folder or reaches out with a folder, and you take
I take
and
it.
with you taking the folder, she just turns around and walks away. Doesn't say anything else.
Have a good day.
She waves a hand at you.
Now that you've finished scaring the help, what did they bring?
Okay,
got an
so
envelope.
what you have in the envelope is a data chip. So whoever wants to read the data chip, I can tell you what information is there. Or if you want to vid it out for everyone to see. It's a video.
I'll do it for everybody. Here you go. Put it in the little TV. Here, everybody watch. It'll be entertaining.
On the data chip, you see a message from a woman who doesn't look immediately familiar to any of you. She says to call her Major. She wants you to go to a Bunraku parlor in order to deal with a client of theirs. The rest of the details are going to be on the chip.
when they say deal with,
They don't really give you much more information than that.
okay,
I'm sure
so
it's something else you'll get to be on the news for. How's that sound?
well, as long as as long as I get paid more every job, By the way, what's the chip say about what the pay is on this?
Okay, so additional details that can be found on the chip, because I'm sure someone's going to look into it. You are going to be looking for a person by the name of Carl Derrick. who is known to frequent a bunraku parlor. Now, what a bunraku parlor is, just because this could be a sense of morals for people, is it is effectively going to be a parlor for people of a particular nature to contract women to do particular things. Now, these women are not aware of what is going on at all. They have memory wipes regularly. They have data chips put in that remotely control their personalities. They have regular plastic surgeries to alter their appearances. These women have zero say in what's going on with anything. So,
Ooh.
just in case that affects anyone's morals, that's what you're looking at.
Did
Knows
he
what a
say
bunraku
we get to
parlor is.
destroy the whole place, or does this need to be hush hush?
Yeah,
They
that's my biggest question. Loud or quiet?
they don't say particularly, but they are typically run by the Yakuza. So if you blow the place up, you're going to make a big enemy very quickly.
They have to find out who we are first.
That's true.
Hmm.
No, the chip says to just go there and meet with the guy. I say we just go there, meet with whoever.
It
This
says
this
deal with
Carl.
him. What do you think that means?
Yeah, you're not necessarily meeting with the guy. You're dealing with him.
Yeah. I don't think they mean dealing with in the sense of go set up a negotiation.
Also,
Ain't
aren't you
doing
the guy
squat
that...
unless there's a paycheck. All right.
If you go a little bit further into the data chip, if you have to kill Carl, that's one thing. What they would actually really like you to do is frame him for killing a prostitute.
Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's gonna be. That's. How do
That's a
we?
tall order.
I mean, like, I think Salvo's like, I don't mind wet work, but uh, really kill a hooker and make it look like that guy did it? I mean, I don't necessarily have a problem with firebombing the whole place, but unless he's known for firebombing things or to have access as such, it wouldn't necessarily look like it was him.
What can we find out about this person?
Say, let's do research on him.
Are you trying to research Major, or are you trying to research Carl Derrick?
Carl?
I was gonna say, someone research Carl, then we can research the Major later.
Yeah, because we don't know why he's being set up for this at this
I
point.
was gonna say, if the reason she's trying to do it is because this guy has blackmail on the Major, then what we could easily do is just get that data ourselves, get rid of him, and say, hey, would you like this data? How much is it worth to you?
Hmm. Yeah, the only fly in the ointment there would be how it would affect our connection with Romeo. He's the one that got us this job.
Or what we could do is, if it has something that looks bad for you, Cass, we could use it for you. How's that sound?
And he just kind of looks at you like, that is so fucking transparent. Like,
Hmm.
it's just like, it's like, really? You're going to go right to the political angle 5 minutes after the discussion.
This entire time she's been deadpan. Just, yeah, I was being sarcastic. Glad you took that like a pallet of bricks.
He just kind of he just shakes his head. He's like, question remains, what are we doing here and how are we doing it? And
Who is doing the research?
I almost hate to ask, but how much does it pay?
The pay listed on the data chip is 2,500 new yen each.
It's a lot of pay.
With, of course, more if you get additional pay data.
Yeah, I think Salvo's reaction to this is going to be kind of like, let me know what you find out. And he's going to go grab a beer from the fridge. And he's probably going to go back to the room with the biggest bed, which he claim it's his own mic and just goes back there and fucking probably turns the TV on in there and kicks his boots off. Just watches like cartoons or something.
Take me to the lighter side of life. I can't deal with this.
Like he's like he, he's like I mean he's a professional in the sense that he knows that if he doesn't come good on this job or make some kind of move here, the consequences will be bad. But he also knows that the consequences might not necessarily be good no matter which way he steps. Um, he's also hiding the fact that he does have a moral problem with the idea of killing a hooker and then framing somebody for it. Um, he'd rather if he's going to kill a hooker, he'd rather the contract be for the hooker. Let's just put it that way.
They
Fair enough.
just said they'd really like us to do it. It's not actually part of it. He could
Yeah.
just say so. But that would be easy.
No, that's not. Salvo is all about his image. He doesn't want to be seen like. We've already established when it took a lot out of him to throw a fireball, he was hiding the fact that it took a lot out of him. He's just like he stands on pride a lot. Yes, yeah. So he was just like, well, let me know what you figure out, and just goes to the room drinking a beer, watching cartoons.
My thought process on killing a hooker. They joined to be a hooker in this specific district, so they know the problems of being there. So if we have to kill one, so be it.
From what I understand, though, that's not the case.
They are actively working for the Yakuza, not to poke any bears or anything.
This is true. However, you did talk about how most of them don't know what's going on.
Or
I've
doesn't
had to
have a
sign a
choice.
contract for that particular privilege.
And you're going to tell me none of them were coerced into it?
Yeah, hell if I know.
And say, I think that's one of those details where it's a
Contract.
little bit murkier.
Yeah.
Yakuza, everything's a little murky.
Yeah. Were they pressured into it? Just because they have
not.
a reputation for killing people for saying no doesn't mean they're going to kill you when you say no. In fact, they
I
never
can't
told you
believe you
that.
guys are having this discussion. A hooker's a hooker. Screw them.
Hey,
And then you
buddy.
can kill them. Who cares?
Buddy, the only weight you bring to this conversation is the weight of your buddy slag heap. All right, chill.
Yeah,
Still
whatever.
agree with him.
So who is going to try to dig dirt on Carl Derrick?
Sounds
Okay,
like fun.
sir, make a matrix perception check.
In the meantime, I'm gonna start rolling up some deep weed.
Do that. Have fun with that deep weed.
I'm not 100% sure how to do that.
Matrix perception. Where is it? Matrix perception should be in the attribute tab on the character sheet in Roll20. I did also set up the macros if you want to do the skill check macro there and just input the number you have in Genesis. So you have a couple of options.
Confused.
I can barely hear you, man.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing. Matrix perception.
Let me go to
There's Matrix initiative.
Oh, the initiative is what I saw. Okay, give me just a second here. I'd had your roll matrix perception before, apparently. If I have it, it didn't click. Okay, give me just a second here. that's the wrong book. Where'd the Shadowrun book go? There it is. Tricks Perception. So I actually don't see a spot for it on the character sheet, which is not fun. Let me figure out how it's calculated here.
Hmm.
Okay, Matrix Perception is going to be electronics plus intuition. So if you make an electronics check, that should do it. 0 successes. Yeah, you don't find anything with that.
I pass over the deep wheat to Salvo.
Actually, Salvo's already gone to his room and is drinking a beer and watching cartoons.
The
He's just kicked back in his room, just fucking drinking a beer and laying in the bed watching cartoons, like while people dig up information. He'd,
well,
he's re-
fucking Bishop's pretty out of his gourd right now, so he passes it anyways without looking, and or just holds it out, and then shrugs when it's not taken.
yeah, he's just like, yeah. I think Salvo's probably no, I said he was watching cartoons. Never mind. He's not rewatching the news.
Yeah, about all you can find out of 0 successes, sir, is going to be that he's a politician.
Okay, so I found out he's a politician. Does that help?
Does anyone else have ranks in electronics?
Theoretically,
Nope.
realistically, yes, enough to be specialized in it.
Enough. Let's check it.
So just an electronics check.
Electronics plus logic.
Okay.
Or electronics plus intuition, excuse me.
Oh, okay.
That'll work.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah, 3 definitely gives you more information. Okay.
No, intuition.
4, even better. Okay, so with 4 successes, you are able to find out that he was inaugurated in 2079 to represent Virginia's 2nd District to the UCAS House of Representatives. He was elected on a platform of reforming UCAS politics by getting money out of politics and returning power to people through more direct elections. He is married with 3 children, has been married since 2070, graduated from Princeton University with a degree in economics, and is rumored to have had an affair about 4 years ago. Rumors were never proven true, though, and it did not derail his election.
All right. Cross-referencing the idea of an affair and then the major. Can I get any hits?
Let me look at the major here. She was not who he had an affair with.
No. I was thinking the other way around.
Hey, go ahead and make a check on Major. We'll see what you find out about her.
Okay. Oh my god. Roll 20. What the heck?
Okay, so that went the other direction. What you are able to find out about her is that she was formerly a Marine for the CAS, which is the South, and retired at the rank of Major. So she's a retired CAS Marine.
Hey, anybody got anything on this major chick? I know she's from Cass, but Hey, so for Sir, he's doing logic plus electronics. Should he be doing intuition?
Yes, intuition.
So, yeah. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Well, let's see how many dice he rolled, because I might just take the first one.
Yeah, he rolled.
Yeah, less dice. Okay, never mind. I would have to take the second one. Yep, you're able to find out that she was retired as well.
Sorry. I thought I was trying to help.
It's
but-
okay. It is okay. Always worth a try, right? On the plus side, you have a lot of information about Carl Derek now.
Yeah, it seems like he was actually, and not that Salvo knows this yet, but he seems like the kind of guy that Salvo would have liked in,
yes,
but
that's what I was thinking.
but
Um,
but he didn't know any of this, and he only knows this for being hired to potentially murder a hooker and blame it on him.
Hey, I got this, and probably kind of send it to everybody who's got handheld devices.
One does. In this reality, if you don't, it's a serious disadvantage.
Right?
Well, think about it. She's just old enough to where she wouldn't expect everybody, I
Fair enough.
think. But
I can see that.
so I got that. Why does this? What does this lady want with him?
Well, according to the data chip, she wants him taken care of.
No, I'm
Framed for murder.
asking why.
Well, she was in the army. He was a politician. Maybe he made bad rulings that she didn't like. I don't know.
Two different forces, though, correct? He's working for UCAS. She's from just CAS.
Hmm.
I remember what the CAS stands for, because UCAS is United Canadian American States, but I don't remember what CAS is. Let me see if I can find out.
I think if you sent the information about Carl to Salvo, um, he would probably wait before he comes back out. He's not done watching cartoons.
Okay, CAS is the Confederation of American States, but it's south of UCAS.
So the North and the South.
Yeah.
Great. Not. So you said it's not immediately familiar who the major is, but other than that, how long would I have to wait before I could take another crack at it?
Remember, this has got to be done tonight if we're doing it.
This is true.
Anything. It's a rush job. If we're not doing it tonight, then we probably need to do something about the potential employer before tomorrow.
Yeah.
What? So we're just gonna go find her and take care of her?
That's
That
it. You
would be
also you have the option of researching further on Major. You have the option of researching the Bunraku Parlor itself. Maybe researching Carl Derek's likes at the Bunraku Parlor. Maybe I don't know. You have
Let's-
options.
let divide and conquer.
You know
can
what?
stake out the Bunraku Parlor if you
I
want.
was actually just thinking that. I think Salvo, when he does come out of his room, just is like needs something to do, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go take a look at this parlor. I'm see what I see. I'll let you know what I find out. I'm gonna head down that way.
Don't become too close of friends with that picture of his. You
He's
know what we're hired to do.
yeah. He just kind of he's like yeah. He's like uh, I'll I'll let you know when I have see anything of note. I'll report back in at some point. He's gonna take off. And there is some other investigating that I could do while I'm out. I'm probably not going to tell anybody this, but I might try to hit up some of my contacts, see if they know anything. Because I'll probably go see that bartender, Shelly Karsten, and see if she's heard anything about any of this. Like, uh, what is this
What
guy's
is
name?
your Carl Derrick?
Carl Derrick, yep.
What is your connection with her, and what is your loyalty with her?
Connection of 3 and loyalty of 3.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll connection, and we'll see what she knows.
Okay, so how am I rolling that here? Because I never saw a spot on the sheet for it.
There isn't a way on the character sheet, but if you go for the macro and do a skill check, it'll just be 3d6.
Okay, so under skill, cracking influence. I don't see connection. I see under skills. I see influence.
If you go to the advanced dice roller, also, if you select the option for exploding none and target number 5, you can just set it to 3d6. Or target number greater than 5.
3d6. Advanced dice.
Or
There you
it's 2 successes.
go. All right. Oh well, there you go. That worked. So 2 successes
Nothing, I'll
there.
take it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so with that, you are going to find out. Dude sleeps around.
Just be like, hey Shelly, I got a hankering for a beer and a little bit of information. Maybe kind of like lean in and be like, hey, you know about this guy Carl Derrick? I've been hearing about. And he's like, and I show her a picture.
She'll lean in real close, pass you a beer. Can't tell you too much about the politics, but that man sleeps with anything. And I mean anything.
Wow, a little
So that
kinky,
may
are
be his
we?
wife.
A little kinky, huh? I was like, and probably put the picture back in my vest pocket and be like, and take a drink of the beer and be like, so he's a bit of a player. Well, or slut, however you want to look at it. Interesting.
Wait, you had 2 successes. She can tell you one other thing.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Also, he is wanting to keep UCAS here because, well, they've always been here. Why should they leave?
Hmm. Little bit, yeah.
He's in fact insulted by the fact that there's even a committee being put together on this because he doesn't see a case.
Oh man. Yeah, this is a little bit divided on my feelings about this guy right now. So I think I'm probably going to go stake out the Renraku parlor and take a look and see if I see anything out of the ordinary. Anything looks different.
I thought that would have just sealed the deal for him that this is a go.
You know? Well, he did want to get money out of politics. That's a big bet. um,
There's another way to get money out of politics. At least UCAS money out of politics, and that's to get rid of UCAS.
well, true, but there's a yeah. I'm probably gonna go stake out the parlor. I might even you know what? Do I have the skills to do what I think I want to do here? I don't think I do.
Fantastic question.
No, I don't have those. I don't have good enough skills on that. So I'll probably just kind of skulk around and take a look at what's going on here. So um, maybe see if I can't get any kind of like. For one, I'm going to be looking for access points that we could get it and rating which access points are going to be the easiest and which ones are going to be the hardest. For two, I'm going to kind of watch like keep an eye on what their security does and like what kind of like personnel they have for security, like how much, how well armed, that kind of stuff. The kind of stuff you look for when you're like, okay, I need to do a mission here, and I need to do it. I need to know what all of my challenges are going to be and how to tackle them. So that's kind of what I'm doing.
Okay, so perception check.
Yeah. So I got 5 successes on perception, and three
Okay,
successes on my stealth.
fair enough. You're ahead of the game there, sir. Okay, so on perception, there's really not a lot that you can tell from the outside of this building. It literally looks like a cube with a door. There are no windows, there's one door. You do not see any cameras, however. Although, with a 5 perception, you do notice that anyone who goes in has to knock before they enter, and there's like one of those security slits that opens, and they seem to say something to the person behind the door before the door fully opens.
Is there any way to get close enough to hear what they're saying?
You can certainly try.
Alrighty. Is a 3 stealth good enough to get me close?
No, I'm gonna be straight with you on that one.
Okay. Well then, let's see if I can do better. I can't do better.
I can tell you, at a 3 stealth, you will try to get closer, and people will actually come out the door just to stand outside the door and watch you at that point.
Okay. Well, that does. Hey, you know what? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And I learned something.
Fair enough.
I learned that there are people. How well armed do they seem to be? What do they like? What race? How well? How well armed? What kind of like? Because it's all going to be tactically important.
They actually all seem like they actually all seem standard human.
Okay.
They are armed. They have what was it? Submachine guns.
Submachine guns. Okay.
Yes.
I have one
Dark
of the.
glasses. Think like Matrix. They have the suit. They look they're spiffy. They're
Okay.
very spiffy.
Okay. Awesome. So these are professional corporate security kind of guys. I would
Yeah.
imagine. At
Correct.
least that's where they at
And
least
they also
started.
look very strong.
Yeah. So I'm going to. So I'm probably going to be like. I'll probably just be like, gentlemen, and kind of like wander off at this point because I'm not getting in there without a fight at this point. Because I know damn good and well I am not slick enough to talk through these guys. And Salvo's savvy enough to be like, I don't think I'm gonna buy my line of bullshit. Just fucking. So yeah, probably at that point, kind of like take a. And since I've been made, like they're clearly gonna watch me as long as they know I'm out here. So I'm probably gonna leave and head back to the safe house. If I can jump back on my motorcycle and be like, well, that was useful, and take and kind of go driving back to the uh, safe house. I'll probably send a message to I don't know, probably to Sakura that got a little bit of intel, um, not not significant, super significant, but I'm heading back to the safe house.
Okay.
Can we do a research on what his favorite girls are at the house?
Please. Please do. That will be another Matrix perception. Okay, 2 successes. You are able to find out that his favorite girl is set up to look and act like Marilyn Monroe.
Wow.
Oh, what? Come on, dude. Ah. Poor Marilyn. looking at, probably a Betty Boop sticker or patch on, the jacket. At least you're safe, Betty. Another icon ruined.
Yeah.
So on one hand, we would have to deface Marilyn. But on the other hand, we're getting rid of the guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. There were 2 doors to the building. I didn't tell you about the second door. There
Oh.
is a side door.
There is a side door. Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. I forgot about that one, and I just reread my notes.
Oh, okay. Well, I would probably have that stored in my memory. It's not like I was going to
Yeah.
test that door, because I'm sure it's probably got some kind of biolocks or security system to it that I don't have the skills to overcome. Well, I do, but it would make too much noise.
Fair enough.
So, yeah, I would probably have that in my back pocket for telling everybody when I get back.
Okay. Sorry, just wanted to make sure that I told you.
Okay, good. Because it may be useful. Who knows?
Yeah.
Did you tell us you were gonna go stake out?
Yeah, I did. I said I was going to go check out the
Okay.
Renraku parlor. I didn't tell you I was going to
Would-
talk to my contact at all.
No. Would Drifter have access to your? Well, would Drifter be able to send you information? Does she have
Probably.
your
Comms that are able to talk to each other, so it depends
Yeah.
on what sort of information you're wanting to send.
More or less, just his favorite is his favorite is Marilyn.
Oh yeah, you can totally send that.
Oh, okay.
That's like sending a text message.
Yeah, I would probably look at that and be like, okay, and because he's not sure that helps him. He's not sure how that's supposed to help him, but he's also not sure. But he also knows that she's probably not sure that how that helped him either, or how it could. In case it helps.
She was figuring that you were going in as a prospective customer, not as creepy guy hanging around outside.
Yeah, I don't have the skills to talk my way through that shit. I know that. I tried talking my way through shit in the riots, and I just ended up resorting to fireballs. So, hey, probably better idea if I don't put myself in a position to have to go to Plan B.
She's
Before
just
we're
giving
ready.
you enough rope to hang yourself with.
Yeah, but he's smart enough not to hang himself with that one. um,
You didn't really say what you were going to do. She was just trying to help.
no, I get that. But yeah, whenever I get back, I would probably see who's in the living room and be like, I kind of come in and take a look around, like who's still in the living room.
Going on.
I'm still on the couch, still puffing on the deep weed. I see you enter, and I hold it out to you. Again,
He's like,
Okay, fair enough.
he's like, one moment, before I forget, probably need to, sir, are you in the living room?
If you said something, I did not hear you.
Yes, I'm in the living room.
Okay, there we go.
taking the next step.
Sakura.
Yeah, I'm sitting at the table having a drink.
All right.
Did anyone do anything at the safe house while we were doing this, or go out and do anything else?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to stomp on anybody's time to
I
go
was about to say
fuck
before we
around.
get to
Yeah.
the next timeline.
Yeah, but I don't want to stomp on anybody's time to go out and do some shit. If anybody else wanted to do some legwork.
I was thinking
Sakura's
of doing
probably just sharpening her blades.
Sakura is just what?
Sharpening her blades.
Okay, fair enough.
Very slow and methodical.
That sounds terrifying. Cool.
You probably get like passive aggressive hints from Drifter that it's annoying and distracting, but I have a feeling you don't care.
No, she doesn't.
Just like oh, sorry. Is my cough distracting?
I think you need to get that checked out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Okay, so we need to do research on this particular parlor, how it works, gaining access, how you choose your person, and stuff like that.
They choose their person. I don't even think I have that written down. Hold on just a second. Let me find out.
How do you choose your person?
Looks like just based off of what I'm seeing, and this would be standard for any Bunraku parlor, so if anyone has any knowing with Yakuza or criminal organizations of this sort that run this sort of business, they would know that those contracts have to be set up ahead of time because they need to prepare for you. So they actually have a membership.
What are my knowledge?
Would Japanese culture help out in any way?
I mean, these are Yakuza.
Sure, roll it. We'll see what we get.
So what do you roll for knowledges?
I remember looking it up before. I don't remember what the answer was. Give me just a second and I can totally tell you.
Oh, so I know things about secret societies, magical societies, arcana, politics, and nightclubs. Ooh, politics is something I could lean on too.
Knowledge is either going to be perception or memory.
Yeah, maybe I could. Yeah, I don't have. I don't have anything for criminal organizations. I have things for secret societies. I don't know if you'd allow that to count.
Maybe.
So it's either or?
Yeah, either or, depending on how you're trying to are you trying to get current knowledge or recall past knowledge?
I'll go with memory. I'm trying to remember what it was like growing up in Japan.
One. For a second, it didn't show a number in the successes. I was just like, I don't know what that says. Okay, with a 1, the Yakuza is prominent enough in Japan that you probably do have at least a familiarity with Bunraku chambers, and you would at least know the extreme basics in that affluent people tended to frequent them, and it cost money.
Would this count under? Would this count under secret societies at all? I don't know. I'm just. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I was just kind of curious.
Probably close enough to that circle. I'll go ahead and give it to you.
All right. And you said it's a what roll or a what roll?
Either perception or memory, depending on if you're trying to find current knowledge on it based on any contact or information that you would have, or if you're trying to recall something that you would have previously found.
I think I'm gonna try to use memory. I'm gonna try
Okay.
to recall things that I know about Rinraku parlors, or at least the people who like have gone to them.
Gotcha. Do you have any contact with secret organizations at all?
Do I have what?
Any contact with secret organizations?
Any contact with any secret organizations? No, I don't think so. It's probably
Okay.
people. It's probably shit that people I used to know that either
Gotcha.
died or we grew apart or something.
I was gonna
So,
say, yeah, Drifter's not gonna be any help in that department. She knows. She's got a fence, someone to get jobs from, and then someone for tech advice, and that's about it.
Like, yeah, I think Salvo comes to some of this stuff through like his other background, like nightclubs, because he's probably worked in them and he's probably worked them like for information before. But like magical societies probably led him to knowing stuff about secret societies and being involved in politics, and nightclubs was probably also a natural fucking filter for that stuff too, because um, you meet people in a nightclub.
fair enough. That you actually probably worked in a previous nightclub that was next to or near a Bunraku parlor.
Mhm.
What you were able to decipher from that previous knowledge is that there is normally fairly heavy flowing alcohol,
Mhm.
and because affluent people with a lot of money and alcohol is expensive or can be expensive in the right hands. And another thing that you know is that especially with your history in nightclubs and stuff, you can generally pay off the door guy if you have enough money.
So you can pay off the door guys at these places too?
Pay
Ooh.
off the door guys anywhere if you have enough money. It just
Yeah.
depends on what sort of organization it is, on how much it takes.
Look, buddy, my 8 hour shift started 2 hours ago, and I don't get a break for another 4.
Right?
Think I like this shit?
Now that being said, this is a Bunraku parlor run by the Yakuza. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm fairly certain it's gonna take a fat sack of cheddar to get into that with by bribery.
What if we could just forge some IDs?
I was thinking, can we create a fake contract for one of us to get in?
Oh God, no, you're not. You can go ahead and do that. I won't stop you. I won't volunteer for it either.
Okay, and I'm assuming you're sharing all this information.
Yeah, I would probably as soon as I get back, I would be like, so I did a little digging and I staked the place out. The what I'm looking at here is it's a cube building. There's a side door. I assume there's some sort of electronic security there. Didn't see any cameras though. Main door, slide visor. Two security came out when I got too close to it. But it's like security anywhere. You got enough credits, you got enough nuyen, you can bribe your way in. But it's Yakuza, so I'm sure that's expensive. Our friend Carl Derrick, he's a bit of a, well, let's just say he's a man whore. He sleeps with everything. Uh, and apparently,
He likes platinum blondes.
that
Yep.
too.
Barely
Apparently,
got it.
and he's anti-secession. He figures that we should stay, that Seattle should stay part of the UCAS because we've always been part of the UCAS, and he's actually kind of pissed off anybody would want to leave it. Um, so, how'd you guys do?
I don't know. I couldn't concentrate. There was this grinding feeling in the back of my head, like someone sharpening something metal. She's not listening right now. It's okay.
Oh,
Right.
and I remember it.
Good. I'm glad you're gonna remember how annoying this shit is.
Well, that aside, what's the plan here? Are we taking this job, or are we taking out the contractor? And he said, and how are we? And if we are doing the job, how are we doing it? And uh, how are we getting it done?
Well, we could go in wet and loud.
Usually my preferred mode of operation, but carries with it the risk that if we let anybody run off and with any descriptions of us, we'll have the Yakuza on our asses. That's a lot more guns and a lot more fireballs and a lot more blades than I care to deal with in a day.
You know, there is something to be said for heavy machine guns and rocket launchers.
So we're gonna go in hard and loud, throw all the heavy artillery all at once, plow our way through the place till we get to him.
Just a reminder here, just
Yeah.
you guys are going a little off track.
Yeah, like we're
You're
supposed to
getting
be.
contracted to frame him for murder. If
Yeah, I
you're
know.
loud,
That's
they're gonna know it wasn't him.
oh, I know. I know.
I
That's
think at
kind
this
of why
point,
Salvo has been pulling it back a little. Like,
at this point, I don't think you could convince Drifter to make it look like an accident or a framing. I don't think you could convince her.
that's also part of why Salvo asked are we doing this job or are we taking out the contractor that's put us to this?
The problem is, I think the contractor is going to be more difficult to get to.
Because this has got to go down. And Salvo would point it out. It's like, just in case anybody's a little unclear on what our options here on the table are. Either we do the job and we count our credits and walk away and feel sullied for it, or we go the hard route and we take out the contractor for this, possibly burning our connection with Romeo. And, well, let's just say that it's probably not going to be an easy road. Make no mistake, people, it's probably going to be either A or B. If we just walk away from this, there'll probably be consequences.
Look, I drive a truck and I fly the drones. I'm not making any decisions here.
He looks over at Sakurai. He's like, "You're being awful quiet."
Yes. I'm waiting to hear what everybody wants to do. If we're going to go have to kill someone, then leave it to me.
I'd like to. The problem is question is a lot less simple than are we killing somebody. It's are we killing somebody that has done no wrong and isn't the target of the contract specifically, just to get another man locked up, or do we kill somebody specifically for asking us to do that? Because if we
Here's
just
the
go in
question
and
I got for you guys. Why do you care? It's a prostitute.
problem is, I don't have a problem with killing anyone. The problem is the contract is, I don't want to use the word dishonorable. That's just not my thing. Distasteful. Honest wet work is still honest wet work. This is a screw job.
No, let's break into the place, find a Marilyn Monroe look-alike thing, and make it look like the senator killed her.
Well,
All right, if that's the plan, how is that? How are we going to make it look like it was him?
Well, they know that Marilyn Monroe's his favorite. Shit happens.
Yeah, she's probably half a dozen other people's favorites too. How are we gonna pin it on him and nobody else?
well, we're gonna have to plant. We're gonna have to plant the murder weapon on him, and then arrange for law enforcement to find it on him before he has a chance to find it himself, or on his property. I don't know which. Probably on his property is gonna be easier, unless you count whatever his personal security is.
Or get his DNA and put it in the scene.
How are we gonna accomplish that one? He just kind of looked at everybody in the room, just kind of looking like, I don't know.
I told you, I fly the drones, I drive the truck.
unless we get this guy himself, and we make it look like a murder suicide.
Not
Wait.
sure if
It stated it had to be quick. So what if by chance he is with a girl tonight? That is a Marilyn Monroe. So we just break into that room that they're doing the little fun, happy time and kill them both.
that's all well and good, but do you have any way of finding out for sure?
And what's more, we can't go in loud and hard, or it'll be pretty obvious he didn't kill her. They'd be looking for whoever came in with explosions and massacre.
What's the
We
drone
crack in the
policy?
side door.
Look, I've got a couple little drones, might be able to sting her with something poisonous. We could do that, but I'd have to make sure that my drones could make it up there.
Wait, you're a genius, Drifter. Poison. We poison their food, right? And we make it look like he accidentally got some of that poison. He actually, got it mixed up and got it himself, right?
Throwing it there for clarification, nothing said you had to kill the dude.
I know.
Just,
I know.
just
We're
saying.
apparently we're bloodthirsty. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm just making sure you guys remember
I
that.
think there's a certain amount of transposition here in the sense that we're really don't necessarily want to kill. We'd rather kill him than the hooker, but we're gonna have to kill the hooker, so why not just do him at the same time? So I don't know. We have to figure out what we have to do is we have to make sure it looks like he killed her.
The ultimate goal is to make him look bad. Killing a hooker is the preferred method. You do not have to kill the hooker even. That is the preferred method.
Oh well. What other way can we make him look bad? Maybe we could uncover some. Maybe we can uncover some like financial records that make him look like he's double dealing or something. Or maybe we could frame him for killing his assistant.
This is the quietest y'all have been since we started this game. Come on, guys.
Well, I think the moral implications of setting somebody up for murder has everybody on their heels a little.
Fair enough.
No, I just think we don't have any information whatsoever that's going to be useful to us.
Right,
We
so
need
we
a
need to.
layout of the building. We
Yeah.
need when he's going to be there. We need when she comes into work. We
No,
need to
you're
know
right.
where they're going to be. We got a lot to do, and none of this is helping.
But Raku puppets are all kept on site all the time. They've effectively signed away their rights to have a life.
Okay, then we need to figure out her room.
They are kept in the basement. I will give you that for free.
Treated like property.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
They are property. There has been a significant investment in getting them set up for the type of missions that they get. I
Or
use that word
emissions.
extremely lightly. Yeah.
That is a very polite way of putting it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you saw the main door. There's a big old guard there. You have to do whatever to get in there. But what information do you have about the side door? Is it locked? Can you hack the lock? Sneak in the side? I mean,
I wish I
what?
could give you more information. As soon as I got anywhere close to the building, a couple of Yakuza goons came out and just stared at me. I wouldn't. If I'd have stuck around, they'd have just continued to sit there and stare at me. I wasn't gonna get any more information at that point, so I decided it's time to go.
Give me the building plans or something, anything.
If you would like to try to get building plans, that it would be
Guess
a matrix
what?
perception check.
I've rolled.
I was
Cool.
gonna say
Oh,
yeah.
I see it. Okay,
Like
so
most of
with
yeah.
that, building plans. Give me just a second here. Parlor's open 24/7, so there are constantly people there. There are hidden cameras around everywhere, watching everyone. There are microphones. There are rigs to keep track of implants because they're property. And what you will notice that at any given time there are 6 private rooms always rotating.
Mm.
There you aren't able to tell much more as far as floor plan on that though.
So what we need is to get some sort of eye inside to get a floor plan.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. There is a main parlor room. Has seems to have a full service bar, 12 stools added, and a stage nearby.
Mm.
Sorry, I forgot about that room.
It's just like all one floor.
And then there's the basement where they keep the puppets.
Okay, but it's a one-story building.
It's realistically a prison for the better, for lack of better phrasing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
what's
I-
the distance on hacking the cameras? How does that work? If I wanted to hack those cameras,
If you wanted to hack them from here, it would be rather difficult because there's noise that's going to be interference for the wireless distancing, and I would need to look up what the range on that sort of stuff is. But if you get up closer, it'd be easier. And I will remind you, Salvo, that people that approached the door did seem to pause for a moment before they were able to let in. There was a small slit in the door that opened.
Mhm.
They paused, and then the door did open.
Yep. There's
Just
a
reminding you of that detail.
yeah. There's a yeah. You probably mentioned there is a delay on that door too. Like how many seconds?
No, I hadn't thought about it in seconds. Give me just a second here. Probably long enough to say a few words.
Right on. Yeah, it'd be like there's probably some kind of code word that goes that you got to speak at the main door. There's the slit on the for the eye hole, and there was that slight delay, few seconds at best. And I mean, I imagine it'd probably be what, 15?
Yeah, probably around that.
Enough to say something? Say,
Yep.
because I feel like as I come to my sorcery through intelligence rather than like intuition and what have you, that it's probably I would be the kind of person who, even though it doesn't look like it and act like it, probably counts that shit out. So say probably 15 seconds. Give it about a margin of about 2 seconds either way. A lot of moving parts going on.
I don't know. Let's say we go and we just wing it, and I try and hack the cameras and let y'all know.
You want to wing it.
Yeah, because there's so many other great ideas coming out right now.
I didn't somebody say something about making some fake credentials and getting in that way.
I mentioned it, but we moved on past it pretty quick.
Well, how in the hell are you going to say that there's not a lot of great ideas coming on when you had one right there?
Didn't I just say we moved on past it pretty quick?
Well, let's move back to it.
Okay, so
Is that a
who's going to
thing
be
that
the
can be done?
sneaks in and we make fake credentials for them to walk through the door, have a contract with a passcode to get in?
Drifter's eyes kind of turned towards Sakura.
You know, I actually, they kind of do group jobs sometimes. I mean, somebody's going to have to take the forefront for talking and what have you. Somebody fairly convincing, but uh, one of us, the way that structure is built, one of us goes in. The only way the rest of them are getting them out, if things go sideways, is hard and heavy. And I'd rather have to fight my way. I'd rather only have to fight my way out rather than fight my way in and then out.
So you're volunteering to be the one to go in, and we'll make credentials for you?
No, I'm saying why don't we all go in? One of you guys be the designated mouthpiece, and we're just there in case things go awry.
I don't do well in close quarters combat, if that's what. No. Come on.
I'm not entirely certain we have a whole lot of choices. At least a few of us should be able to go in. I mean, Slag Heap's a little big for this job. At least big for being on the inside of this job. Sakura
No.
was on Sakura and Sir were on infiltration last time. Unless you want me to set up another distraction of some sort, and we don't have the easy access of a protester or riot in the streets to work with. You may find
Look,
it more useful to have a little firepower at your back.
look. If you guys are able to get in, I could use you as a distraction to sneak a couple of drones in.
Sounds valid enough to me. I mean, if
All
we
right.
can, you're going to have to get the timing absolutely correct because by my count, it looks like they used the bare minimum amount of time to drop the password and then get in the door. They're pretty quick about it.
Well, could sneak in starting with one of you. I got a couple gnats. They're hard to spot if you're not looking for them. And inside a busy little venue like that, it'd be kind of hard to spot.
It's like, so what do you think? We go in, three of us, Sakura, Sir, and I go in. Slag Heap and Drifter stay on exfil and back up in case things go sideways. That'd mean we'd need 3 fake credentials, and we'd need to find the password that gets us into that place. Unfortunately, my connections never quite told me a password that would get me in, and they
Here's my
probably
question:
changed
who's
since then.
it's a whole ass password? Maybe it's just, hey, I want to fuck some hookers, huh? You ever think about that?
Well,
Look,
this is the Yakuza. They tend to be a little protective of their clubs.
and not to mention secretive.
Passwords are set up when the contract is negotiated and set up. They said this stuff's all set up before. So when the contract is set up, they'll establish a password, give it to the client, and then when the client gets there, they have to reiterate that password to get through the door.
So we set up fake credentials. They send us passwords, and we infiltrate. Is that what I'm reading here?
Yes, let's try that way.
And if all else fails, well, I guess we deal with it if it goes sideways, we deal with that as it comes along. This is a tricky mission. I don't know. And he kind of does this thing where he's kind of like, and the next thing we need to do, the last part of this that we need to figure out is how do we set this up with this guy? How do we find out what room he's in? Yeah, what they're going to be in. How do we set him up?
Well, once I'm inside, I can gain access to the cameras, and then I'll know which of the 6 rooms he's in. Then we frame him for murdering the Marilyn Monroe hooker.
So how do we get the Monroe hooker dead and him out of there and make it look like it was him? Poison? That sounded like a good idea. Do we know anybody that's got some poison to do the trick? Do we know? We're going to need to know. Do they have food services where we could where we could get somebody to where we could uh,
Why not
There
just
was
an
a
OD
bar.
administer an OD?
Does this guy have any type of anger issues?
Didn't hear anything about anger issues. Just that he's a bit of a whore.
Okay. And he loves his Marilyn Monroe. So let's say he got one that isn't quite up to stuff. He beat the crap out of her and killed her. And she fought back. And he got knocked out.
Well, then we need to. How do we manipulate that situation?
Get me into the room, make sure no one else comes in.
Okay, sir, make a matrix perception check again.
Yeah.
And if you need me to look up which role that is again, I can. Okay, so that's enough to at least get you back to this information. Bunraku dolls, which is effectively what they are completely controlled by a chip that is inserted before particular interactions. They are exchanging the chips between interactions to wipe memories. If you can find a way to get to the chip, you can manipulate the doll.
There
The
is
doll
a.
attacks him, and then he fights back and kills the doll.
So here's the other question on this too. Would turning the this Renraku Parlor's clientele record out public, would that do the job to get this guy muddied up enough for the job?
Probably not.
Yeah, but that's a big group of people to try to do that to. It's not just him. A lot of people go there.
Yeah, it's true. But if we only segmented off a small part of the list and released it to the public. But public opinion being what it is, I'm not certain it'd make a big enough difference for our client. Hmm. let's move like we're going to go ahead with this plan, but I would prefer that if we can find a way to tie him to some unsavory financial matters that might ruin him, I'd rather do that if I could, if that's a possibility. Easier and a lot less sweating.
Just get in, we get access to the cameras, we get access to the robot chip mainframe. We could program the robot to do whatever we want.
Okay, well, uh, fair enough. And I think Salvo kind of just kind of like shrugs, and he's like, "What about the poison?" Well, wait a minute. We're decided we're hacking the puppet and making the puppet attack. All right, and or Sakura. Uh, you know what? I'm just here as your backup.
I haven't heard anything from Bishop lately. What is he thinking on all this?
Well, Bishop's been like giving partial feedback here and there,
Yeah,
but ultimately he just wants to get the job done.
Fair enough.
He
yeah,
doesn't have any real opinions on as to how, you know.
and clearly has no qualms with what either. Yeah, so I think Salvo's probably going to go, kind of get himself prepped for this thing because he's not the one making fake IDs or all of the setup work for this is like his part of the setup work is mostly done. He's just got to check his gear and make sure he's prepared to throw spells around if needed. And who's going to do the talking while we're in the building? Because I can tell you right now, uh,
I don't think any of us spec'd into any sort of character that's built to be a face.
He's out sick right now.
Don't think we have any faces right this second.
Well, I mean, even Computer was a Decker.
well, but he did spec somewhat in face as well. He made he
Skills
They-
for it.
Yeah, I think Sugar Skull had some facey skills.
yeah. I have raw charisma of 3, and I've got -1 in influence and -1 in con. So I'm effectively at a 2 in con and influence. Can anybody do better than that?
I got 0 in influence.
Well,
And I
Sakura,
have 6 in influence.
you have what?
6 in influence.
Fuck, you're the talker. I'm saved.
She uses it for negotiating like new gear and equipment, not to talk her way into a brothel.
Yeah, well, you got a better chance of succeeding than I do. and, and trust me, if it had to go down that way, it would be funny to watch us crash and burn on the failure of my charisma rolls. But it's much, much better if somebody with better influence skills can do that.
Okay, so I'm making 3 fake credentials.
Okay, as far as making fake credentials, make me a matrix perception check again, if you would, please. They don't actually check IDs or anything. It's a password. You're able
Should
to
he
figure out
be
that much.
rolling only 5 dice as a
Depends on
Decker?
how his stuff is set up. Let's check his stuff. Let's see.
I was gonna say I roll a shit ton of dice when I throw magic around, but it's also kind of has to do with specking too because I don't know if he's put as many points into his skills as I did.
Looks like you might actually have your character sheet set up a little bit wonky. Give me just a sec. I'm gonna make a couple changes and have you make that roll again.
Because I know taking race of elf as a priority, means you can't take it any lower than a certain level. And if you're going to be a decker, you have to prioritize wealth. So that's at least two things that are probably a little higher on the priority list. I think I stacked my skills pretty high.
Yeah, I didn't think to check that in roll 20. Try making that electronics roll again.
Oh my god. Ugh.
Hey, you're at least not getting the negative die now. Yay. Yeah, it looks like you'd had it set up as a modifier rather than a rank, so I fixed your ranking on your skills. Why are you randomly fireballing, Salvo? Come on.
I don't know. Well, actually, I kind of wanted to look at how many damn dice I roll for fireball.
Ah,
Because
gotcha.
I was like, he should be rolling pretty close on his electronics to what I'm rolling for dice on fireball. Maybe not. I don't know. Depends on his how he set his skills up.
There's a couple of different ways that it can be split for that type
Yeah,
of character. So.
exactly. So I roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I roll like 12 dice for casting a spell.
And with that, you're not able to figure out what the password is, but they don't check IDs or anything. If you know the password, you can get in.
They don't. They don't check your. They don't check your credentials when you set up the appointment either.
Well, yeah, but they're assuming like the doorman doesn't care.
Right.
Doorman doesn't have the schedule. He just knows who to let in and who not to let in. Now, if you would like to specifically look for the passcode, if you give me one more check, you can try for that.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try to find a passcode. I don't know which
Try
one.
to find the password. Okay. Let me see what I can find out for you. Because I don't remember what that was set up with for checks. Okay. That's enough to give you the password. It is Bunraku Pleasure Seattle.
Wow. Wow.
Right.
Justin.
Wow. Uh.
Now that being said, do you guys have a plan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. With it being 9:30 and it sounded like we might have had some time constraints, I'm going to go ahead and call it a little bit early today.
Okay.
And now that we have a plan, we can get to it next week.
Yep. Let's just see how much of the plan we remember next week, and let's see if our roles will actually work with us.
Cooperating would be nice.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, at the end of the day, it's all gonna be. We're all gonna end up having to wing something at the end because of these rolls.
Yeah.
You have a dice pool of 15? That's great. Here are 7 failures and 1 success.
Right?
If you get more than half ones, it's a critical failure even, and bad things happen,
Yeah? Yeah?
which would make it even more fun. Certainly not for you.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I've got for like spells that can be used in close quarters. So, all right. Well, I mean, I guess I'm starting sign offs then, because
Yep,
that's
go
what
for
we've
it.
been doing. All right.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Well, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, I am the Jessica King Zarad. You can catch me here on Tuesday nights playing the cocky elven combat mage Salvo, who really doesn't like the idea of murdering this puppet to frame this senator, but really, it kind of seems to be like we're in a dirty situation and what can we do? Um, the You can catch me here on Saturday nights, every other Saturday, that is. Not this Saturday, but the one following, for The Bitter Ends, our Apocalypse World campaign that is set up to, be able to stretch beyond when they blow up this apocalypse, because they've done that before. Um, and you can catch me on Monday nights for The Fire Strike, our flagship show, my favorite group of space pirates, space terrorists, and never do wells. And you can also catch me on my other channel of Zarot, where I do stream video games. I haven't recently, I was going to last week, but I cannot find my headset, so I gotta buy a new headset. But I will do that. I'm gonna do it. I swear I am. Um, and if you are watching on Twitch and you want to go back and you want to watch this again and catch all the crazy stuff you missed, maybe kind of like, wait a minute, I didn't hear how that rule was adjudicated, and that might be useful for me because I'm thinking about running this game. You can go back and watch us on YouTube at Paradise Theater. And if you are watching on YouTube and you're thinking, hey, I want to catch this when the energy is fresh and live, and the suspense hangs in the air as the party tries to figure out how to create a plan for a situation they don't really want to create a plan for. You can catch us on Twitch at Paradise Theater. The only difference between the two is because, on YouTube, there's a space between each word. On Twitch, there's an underscore between each word. And if you want to catch up with some scheduling and maybe some random thoughts on some topical issues from the cast and crew of the Paradise Theater, or perhaps some memes of some sort of variety, some kind of temperature, a little elevated.
Hot.
Exactly. Some of those kind of memes. You can catch us at Pear Theater on Twitter. And with that said, I am going to move it along down the line. Or, I don't know which way.
Well, this is Baloney Jelly, aka Bishop, aka Slackheap. Uh, Not a whole lot to be said this session from either Slagheap or Bishop, really, other than Bishop has no problem with prostitutes of any type, apparently having sex with them or murdering them. Yeah, he just wants the opportunity to do one, the other, or both. So you can catch us Tuesday nights right here, and that's it for me.
I guess I can go on next. My name is Cyrus Smith. You just saw me playing Drifter, the little old lady who definitely does not like discussing two things: politics and other people's lifestyles. So, with that in mind, you can also find me on, let's see, Thursday, Project Severovo, where I'm playing Anatoly Bashenko, the the field cook who is not he's just as confused as everybody else with everything that's going on because nothing's making any sort of sense. You can also find me on Sunday, Sunday running Tales from the Cosmos because I just found out that the event I was planning on attending this weekend is canceled. So we're back on for Sunday. So, yeah. That means I've got to figure out what we're doing this Sunday. So, awesome. You can also find me on Monday where I'm playing Twinkle Bailey, the isekai who, well, let's see. Missed out on the last, 2 weeks ago, but is ready to hop back into the thick of it for this coming season. That brings us back to today. That's me.
Okay, I will go next. I am Brian. I played Sakura tonight, the street samurai who got on Drifter's nerves. She's let's see. Well, since we're now going to be playing this Sunday, I'll be playing Hothgren, the Hobgoblin Fighter, that missed out on the great fight last week because family issues. Wish I wasn't married and had kids. No, seriously, that's not true. But anyway, so yeah, I'll be there this weekend. And on Monday, you'll find me playing Xiaoyang piloting the real Fire Strike. Not Cartoon Fire Strike, because that's what it's named. It doesn't care what the shell looks like. But yeah, the fun-loving technomancer that loves to hurl fireballs and will give Salvo a run for his money on that title. And that brings us back to today, and that's it for me.
Okay, my turn. Scott, Psych, whatever, pick a name. Most of the time I answer to all of them, so whatever, make a choice. Okay, so I play this dude named Sir, and I'm trying to figure out how to hack everything, make everything better. But hey, me as a person, I'm still learning the system, so slow trudging. Hey, whatever. What else am I in? Oh, on that every other, the bitter ends apocalypse world thing. I played Castiel, an angel, and I don't know. He's gonna heal people. We'll find out. We're going to the mountains. That's all I know. It's a road that's on the mountain. It's a water world. It makes sense. Don't question it. And then when we get on Sunday night, we get more people to play. Which, if you're listening, and you want to, hey. But we're getting more people for Ballad of the Menagerie. I play chess, and we're liberating Planet Z because that's the name of the planet. We're not changing the name of it. Deal with it. We're doing missions. We're getting that thing back into order to where it'll function for whatever. I don't know. So, the other game I'm in is on Monday night, The Fire Strike, where I play Xander, which is an android that wants to find a device. So, he has been contemplating situations and should, be more social. I don't know. He spent a lot of time last season just doing a bunch of research. We'll see what next season involves. And that's everything.
Fair enough. I think that got everybody other than me. Is anybody else missing?
I don't think so. I think we got
Cool.
it.
Fantastic. Sometimes I cut people off and I try really hard not to. Okay. You can catch me on Tuesdays here. I am the GM for Don't Seattle for Anything Less. It can also be found on the Prismatic Tsunami Twitch channel. This Friday, we are going to be doing an actual play showcase for the Cortex Prime rule system. We're doing a horror scenario for this Friday the 13th. That'll be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm also a regular cast member in the movie podcast, Exposition Street, which also streams on that channel on Saturdays at 2 p.m. This week, we are going to be reviewing Priest. That's all I got for this week, but beyond that, you can catch me back on next Tuesday, assuming that schedules don't conflict and everything goes well, because we've had a lot of that lately, and I'm sorry. Next Tuesday, you can catch us back here for Don't Seattle for Anything Less with Shadowrun 6E. Have a good night, guys.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye.